Hecklerspray. Cool. I'm going to look at your site.
For the people who don't know, what is True Blood?
True Blood is True Blood itself is a synthetic blood drink that was created by a Japanese pharmaceutical company in order for wounds and blood transfusions.
Right.
And the vampire movement came out of their coffins, as it were, and said, we can use this synthetic blood, we can drink it, and then we won't need to feed on humans any longer. So it got marketed as a drink called True Blood the Drink.
Right, okay.
And the story is about a world where this drink exists, but nobody in this little town that we live in, called Compton, has ever seen a vampire. And in the first episode, in walks this character, Vampire Bill, and it's how the town reacts to his presence. Have you not seen it?
Not yet. No, I've seen bits. You've got Cadfael, Touch of Frost, Midsummer Murders.
Everybody always picks the big popular ones, yeah.
And Peak Practice. So why, after you've done all those, why True Blood?
Well, what you didn't also include in that list was all the things that I've done in America. So I've been working in America over sort of 5-6 years, going backwards and forwards and doing films and stuff. And then I just finished a series for an American channel called USA Network, and I went back to I just got back to England, and I read this script and auditioned for it. And Alan Ball obviously saw something he liked, and I went back to shoot yet another series in America.
Where will you be spending your birthday?
My birthday is this Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll be spending it in England.
Is that the Big 40?
It's the Big 40, yes.
Wow. You
Can't believe I'm saying that out loud.
How are you feeling about it?
I feel great about it. I you know, to crucify a cliche, life's really beginning. But no, it's been a great couple of years doing the show, and things are going really well, and I'm very happy to have made it to 40, let alone anything else. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I should say.
Thank you.
It was only my birthday 7 days ago. So
I bet you weren't 40, were you?
No, I'm 26 now.
Good man.
But feel free to send me a present in lieu.
Well, you start with me, and then I'll send you one back.
Sure. I'll just,
Okay.
if we just assume I'll send you a Porsche or something. So obviously you must be aware of the Twilight franchise.
No, what's that?
Yes, the books with the Robert Pattinson.
No,
Did you not see Twilight?
No.
I'm amazed. Robert Pattinson, obviously the main star,
Yes.
and probably seen in some circles to be kind of your rival.
My nemesis.
Yeah. I don't know what the vampire term for that would be.
What a schniffer.
Wow, good. So, I mean, if you had to fight Robert Pattinson, either in your current guise as a Stephen or as a Bill, who do you think would win?
In our story, in True Blood world, it goes down to age, and the older you are, the stronger you are. And my character's 173 years old. I think Robert Pattinson's Edward Cullen is about 90 years old. So in True Blood terms, I'd whoop him.
But in a Stephen Roberts scenario?
In a Stephen Roberts scenario, I'm sure we'd just sit down and jam on our guitars.
I didn't know he played the guitar.
He's a very good guitarist.
Really?
Yeah.
But then you could apply the same age rule, couldn't you?
You could apply the same age role. I am old enough to be his dad, and maybe I could give him some tips on growing up.
A few people have asked me to ask you how you researched your role. I mean, I guess my first thoughts might be that you, I don't know, speak to people who work in blood banks or brothels, that sort of thing. I don't know.
I often speak to people who work in brothels for my research.
Well, yeah,
whatever I'm playing.
Because I guess it's a similar sort of role. You know, you sort of scour the streets.
Yeah, scour the streets, looking for girls, and yeah, I do a lot of that. I did a lot of reading up on the American Civil War. I met as many 173-year-olds as I could, and then once I'd exhausted that, I thought about what it would be like to be an outsider in society, and how you'd try to convince people that you weren't trying to harm them, and you know, it's a great character, and I didn't know much about the American Civil War, so it was really interesting reading up on what those soldiers and the way they lived, and awful, and they kind of knew they were in a hiding to nothing by the time they started losing the war, and yet they were fighting for what they believed in the South, and you know, it was a very interesting time. I think Bill's seen a lot, and he's tormented by his past, and he's, you know, he lost his children because he was turned into a vampire before he was able to see them grow up. He could never go back and see them. He lost his wife, and he's been tormented by that, and I think he's jaded. And then he meets Suki, and she represents something new and innocent, and he can't believe that this girl exists. And also, she has something different about her, which is something that he hasn't seen in other.
I assume that's true in real life as well.
Absolutely.
Because of, well, you don't need to get into that. I was contacted by the Bill Pullman fan club.
Bill Pullman fan club?
Yeah, they're known as Bill's Babes, I believe. But recently, since Independence Day has kind of fizzled out and that sort of thing, they've changed allegiance, and you're
hilarious.
No. So you're the lucky recipient. They're very keen for me to tell you that they love you and that they want you to work more.
Is this my Bill's Babes, or is it somebody else that you're talking about?
They're yours now, definitely.
But is it a different site than the one that I'm thinking of, or?
No, I don't think so. They contacted me from. Well, there's quite a few people who contacted me from various websites. One being
True Blood Online.
The Stephen Moyer. Yeah, there's True Bloods. There was.
I've never heard of the Bill Pullman thing.
Well, who knows? Who knows how it all started? I imagine it would probably been from while you were sleeping. He was a bit of a heartthrob.
I never knew that.
Oh, but yeah, they're all around the globe. Apparently. Well,
I'm aware of the Bill's Babes.
They said they want you to do more starring roles and stuff in the breaks between True Blood filming and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
well, I'm in one of those breaks at the moment. I'm sort of doing bits and pieces.
Is that mostly in the US? Actually?
Yeah.
Can you tell us any of the things?
Yes, I've just been playing Paul Bettany's brother in a new film called Priest.
Right, okay.
And I've got a couple of things. I've got a film called Tribes of October, which is due to start in November, with Robert Duvall and James Caan. And there's a couple of other things that we're waiting to hear about. So it's just trying to fit it all in before. It's all about juggling dates, and but it's a very nice position to be in.
Did you have any trouble sort of learning dialect and?
I play this kind of this Southern American sound that is. We consciously made it very different from everybody else's accent because he's 173 years old, and so we went back and listened to tapes of people that were probably in the 20s. We heard some stuff from there. People that would have been born around that time, and it is a different sound. It's a more traditional sound, and one of the things that we did was we took contractions out of Bill's speech. So he never says can't, won't, shan't.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He says cannot, will not, and shall not, and I think it works. It kind of creates apart from the fact that he's a vampire and he's got white makeup on, and all of that, and the way he holds himself, it's just another element that makes him different from everybody else that we're watching.
Well, I suppose in the very unlikely occasion that the acting work dries up, you could always do those recorded greeting cards.
I couldn't I?
Who
could I be? If I did those recorded greeting cards, who could I be?
I always thought Noddy Holder would be quite a good one because
you've
obviously got the it's Christmas angle.
It's Christmas. How does Noddy Holder speak? He's from Birmingham.
He's from
Birmingham, isn't he? He speaks like that. Noddy Holder.
Yeah.
I'd never heard about that Bill Pullman thing.
Well, that's another one.